How did a small pharmacy in Switzerland grow into an empire that gifted the world legendary flavors? Today, we're diving into the story of Nestlé, from saving infant lives to creating iconic products that captured millions of hearts. You'll uncover shocking facts about KitKat, the revolutionary Nespresso capsules, and the secrets of success that took the company to the top. Stick around until the end to learn more. Switzerland, the 1860s. Can you picture the world back then? The Industrial Revolution was in full swing, technology was advancing, yet everyday life faced serious challenges. One of the biggest issues? Infant mortality. A lack of quality infant nutrition was proving fatal for many newborns. In a small Swiss town called Vevey, a pharmacist named Henri Nestlé was hard at work. Henri wasn't just skilled in chemistry, he had an intense drive to create something meaningful for society. His breakthrough came in 1867 when he developed a milk-based formula called farine lactée, a blend of milk, wheat flour, and sugar. Designed for infants unable to breastfeed, it shocked the world by actually working. Henri chose a logo that remains unchanged to this day, a nest with baby birds. It symbolizes care, family warmth, and safety. Fun fact: the word Nestlé means little nest in German. How's that for a fitting metaphor? After the success of farine lactée, the company rapidly expanded its product range. One hit followed another: chocolate, condensed milk, infant nutrition. By 1905, Nestlé merged with the Anglo-Swiss Condensed Milk Company, a major step toward globalization. In the 1920s, Nestlé entered markets in the United States, Australia, Asia, and Africa. Then, in 1938, Nescafé was born, a game-changer in the coffee world. Did you know that this product was developed at the request of the Brazilian government to find a way to preserve surplus coffee beans? Just 9 years later, Nestlé joined forces with Maggi, and that's how the story of their famous soup cubes began. And this is just the beginning. When you hear Nestlé, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Maybe it's KitKat chocolate or Nescafé coffee? The truth is, this company covers a massive range of categories. Chocolate and snacks? Think KitKat, Smarties, Aero. Coffee? Nescafé, Nespresso, Starbucks. Yes, Nestlé holds the license to produce Starbucks coffee. Ice cream? Häagen-Dazs and Mövenpick. Baby food? Nan and Gerber. Pet products? Purina, Felix, Friskies. Quick meals? Maggi and Nesquik. Water? San Pellegrino and Perrier. So, what do you always buy from this list? Nestlé tailors its products to local tastes. For example, in India, Maggi is popular with curry spices. In Japan, KitKat comes in dozens of flavors, from wasabi to sakura. Their chocolate adapts to each market. KitKat in the United Kingdom has a softer taste than in the United States. Meanwhile, in Latin America, people love the sweet condensed milk la lechera, which is a staple in desserts. Nestlé's production is a blend of science, technology, and art. The company's factories span over 80 countries worldwide, each using unique technologies. Many iconic products have been born under this brand. Take Nespresso, Nestlé spent years on research to create it. Their engineers even developed a special capsule sealing technology to lock in the coffee's aroma. Let's take a closer look at how it all happened. In the 1970s, Nestlé engineer Eric Favre was working on an idea that would revolutionize how we enjoy coffee at home. Eric drew inspiration from classic Italian espresso bars. His wife, an Italian, had a deep love for authentic espresso, and it was her passion that sparked his curiosity. Eric noticed that in many Italian coffee shops, baristas would introduce extra air into the machine before extraction to create the perfect crema, that creamy foam that signifies great coffee. And then it hit him. Why not make coffee like this accessible to everyone, right at home? That's how the idea for the capsule system was born. A system that locks in flavor, is easy to use, and delivers consistent quality every time. The first attempts to create coffee in capsules were anything but easy. The challenge wasn't just about sealing ground coffee in an airtight capsule. It was about making that capsule work seamlessly with a machine capable of delivering the precise water pressure. Here's the tricky part. Coffee aromas are highly volatile. To preserve freshness, the capsule had to be perfectly airtight. Engineers needed a material that could withstand high pressure and temperature without altering the coffee's flavor. And let's not forget, creating the perfect espresso requires a pressure of 19 bars, a tough feat to achieve in a compact machine for home use. In the end, Nestlé developed aluminum capsules. These not only protect coffee from oxygen, but also ensure the correct pressure during brewing. When the capsule is inserted into the machine, it gets punctured, allowing water under high pressure to pass through. This extracts a rich flavor and creates that signature creamy foam. Here's another innovation. The engineers designed a special vacuum sealing mechanism to keep the capsules fresh for months. The combination of vacuum technology and the aluminum casing turned out to be perfect. Interestingly, Nespresso wasn't an instant hit. When it launched in 1986, the product was initially targeted at offices and business clients. It wasn't until a few years later, when the marketing team shifted focus to the premium home market, that its popularity began to soar. Think about it. The sleek machine designs, sophisticated ad campaigns, and the iconic "What else?" tagline delivered by George Clooney. All of this played a huge role in turning Nespresso into a symbol of style and quality. The patent for Nespresso's capsule technology was once at the center of major legal battles. When the patent expired, competitors began creating capsules compatible with Nespresso machines. Yet, Nestlé still holds the lead, thanks to continuous innovation and its premium branding. Here's a jaw-dropping stat. Around 14 Nespresso capsules are sold every second worldwide. Every year, Nestlé invests millions of dollars into improving coffee technologies. On top of that, the brand runs 90,000 recycling points for capsules as part of its commitment to sustainability. Every day, over 1 billion products are manufactured in Nestlé factories. The company employs 270,000 people and operates 447 factories across the globe. Let's take a closer look at some of Nestlé's most popular products. Nescafé, the legend of instant coffee. This might just be Nestlé's most iconic product, sold in over 180 countries. The name itself has become synonymous with instant coffee. The brand has been around since 1938, when Nestlé introduced the first instant coffee for convenient at-home brewing. Here's a fun fact. Over 6,000 cups of Nescafé are consumed every second worldwide. Plus, Nescafé adapts to regional preferences. In Latin America, sweeter blends are a hit. In Asia, milkier versions are popular. And in Europe, classic black coffee is the go-to choice. KitKat, one of the world's most beloved chocolate bars. First introduced in the United Kingdom in 1935, its popularity skyrocketed after Nestlé acquired the brand. In more than 80 countries, people say, "Have a break? Have a KitKat." In the baby food segment, Gerber is the undisputed leader. Acquired by Nestlé in 2007, Gerber is now synonymous with high-quality nutrition for infants. It's sold in over 70 countries and is a favorite among young parents thanks to rigorous quality standards. Each product undergoes over 100 quality checks. Maggi, soups, spices, and noodles, holds immense popularity across Asia, Africa, and Europe. Nestlé Pure Life, one of the most popular bottled water brands in the world. Smarties? These colorful candies are loved by kids and adults all over Europe. Here's a fun fact. Nestlé, in collaboration with Daniel Peter, created the world's first milk chocolate back in 1875. It was revolutionary at the time, and today, Nestlé remains one of the largest chocolate producers in the world. Whether it's coffee or chocolate, Nestlé knows how to create products that win over millions of hearts. What's your favorite? Nestlé isn't slowing down. The company is heavily investing in plant-based alternatives, personalized nutrition, and eco-friendly projects. For instance, in Switzerland, they're already testing a new sugar-free chocolate sweetened with natural cocoa fibers. Nestlé is also working hard to reduce plastic use, aiming to make all their packaging recyclable. And here's the kicker. They're developing products tailored to individual body needs, using DNA-based nutrition. From your morning coffee to a quick KitKat break, this brand is practically everywhere. Isn't that the ultimate mark of success? Nestlé is a story of innovation, care, and the courage to do things differently. So, the next time you enjoy one of their products, remember, behind it lies over 150 years of dedication, dreams, and love for what they do. The secret to Nestlé's success lies in many factors. This is a company that doesn't just sell products. It creates a lifestyle, adapting to the needs and expectations of people around the world. Nestlé has always prioritized innovation, consistently investing in science and research. With over 20 research and development centers globally, their engineers, biologists, and chemists work tirelessly to develop products that align with modern trends. Less sugar, more nutrition, and convenient packaging. Nestlé operates with a clear philosophy: think globally, act locally. This strategy helps them stay close to consumers and create products that feel personally crafted for them. And let's not forget, Nestlé are marketing masters. They don't just advertise products, they build emotional connections with their customers. They're also quick to embrace modern platforms, from TikTok to Instagram, staying in sync with their audience. Do you think you know everything about Dr. Pepper? What if I told you that the secret recipe for this legendary drink is kept in 2 separate bank vaults, and the owners of those vaults never meet? Or that a single bottle once sold for $7,000? I visited the Dr. Pepper factory, and am ready to reveal secrets the company has been guarding for 140 years. Want to find out what happens if you open a bottle in space? Or how they produce 1,200 bottles per minute? Then this video is for you. Watch until the end. The foundation of Dr. Pepper lies in a unique blend of flavors. Officially, there are 23 of them. Exactly what goes into the mix is a closely guarded secret. What we do know is that the drink combines fruity, vanilla, spicy, and caramel notes. Fans have tried to crack the code, speculating that the flavors might include cherry, almond, vanilla, cinnamon, caramel, chocolate, and even a hint of clove. Interestingly, throughout its entire existence, the drink has remained virtually unchanged, and any attempts to replicate it have ended in failure. Rumor has it that the formula is stored in 2 separate bank vaults in the United States. These vaults are owned by different individuals who never meet, ensuring the recipe remains a mystery. The process begins with creating the concentrate, a complex combination of natural and artificial flavorings mixed in precise proportions. There's even a popular legend at the production facility that the recipe is divided into 2 parts, with each half known only to a separate group within the company. This spy story only adds to the intrigue. To put things in perspective, Dr. Pepper has been on the market for over 120 years, and more than 3 billion liters of it are sold worldwide annually. That's more than the total amount of water in 12,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools. The main component of any soda is water, and Dr. Pepper is no exception. Before being used in production, the water undergoes a meticulous purification process consisting of multiple stages. The first stage is filtration, which removes all mechanical impurities. I've been making videos like this for a while, and I'm still amazed at how much unexpected stuff can be found in ordinary water. The second stage is disinfection, ensuring the water is completely safe for consumption. Finally, there's composition adjustment, which creates the perfect balance of minerals that influence the flavor of the drink. Clean, high-quality water is essential to maintaining Dr. Pepper's iconic taste around the world. Can you believe that the water purified at Dr. Pepper facilities is held to a standard higher than regular drinking water? That's how they ensure every bottle has the same recognizable flavor no matter where it's enjoyed. After the water is prepared, the concentrate is added. The mixing process takes place in special stainless steel tanks that ensure sterility and uniformity of the mixture. The proportions are carefully controlled by automated systems, as water makes up about 90% of the drink's total volume. This part really amused me. Turns out, we're not just drinking a concoction of random chemicals. The concentrate is added in precise amounts to ensure the flavor is spot on. At this stage, sugar or its substitutes are also added, depending on the product type. There's the regular version and the diet version of the drink, but I'll cover that later. The sugar is first dissolved in hot water to form a syrup that blends easily with the other components. The famous reaction between Mentos and soda becomes even more exciting with Dr. Pepper thanks to its rich, syrupy composition. The fountains it creates are taller than with cola. I haven't tried it yet, but I definitely will. Meanwhile, Dr. Pepper can also be frozen and turned into a crystalline syrup structure, which chemists love to study. I couldn't resist trying that one. Scientists and hobbyists often use Dr. Pepper for fascinating experiments. The biggest consumers of Dr. Pepper are in the United States, where nearly 80% of all production is consumed. However, in recent years, its popularity has been growing rapidly in Europe and Asia. Dr. Pepper wouldn't be the same without its signature fizz. This bubbly effect is achieved through carbonation, a process where the drink is infused with carbon dioxide gas. Carbonation takes place in specialized equipment. The drink is chilled to about 32 degrees Fahrenheit, as cold liquids retain gas more effectively. Under high pressure, carbon dioxide is injected into the mixture, creating the familiar bubbles. The carbonation process feels like something straight out of a chemistry lab, as the pressure in the system reaches 5 atmospheres, almost twice the pressure in a car tire. Interestingly, if you were to open a bottle of Dr. Pepper in space, the gas wouldn't escape because there's no atmospheric pressure. That means drinking Dr. Pepper in zero gravity is essentially impossible. The finished drink is sent to the bottling line, a fast and highly automated process. First, bottles or cans are sterilized. Then, they are filled with the drink in mere seconds. Next comes the airtight sealing of the caps. The final products are packed into boxes or shrink-wrapped and then sent to warehouses before making their way to stores. Dr. Pepper ensures precise logistics to keep the drink fresh and of the highest quality when it reaches the shelves. Dr. Pepper factories are marvels of modern engineering. I was amazed to learn that they produce 1,200 bottles per minute. That's 20 bottles every second. In a single day, a factory can fill up to 10 million cans and bottles. The entire process, from water purification to packing the drink into boxes, takes less than an hour. Each bottle or can of Dr. Pepper isn't just a container. It's an essential part of the brand. The packaging design changes up to 10 times a year to attract new audiences. During holiday campaigns, limited edition series are released, often becoming collector's items. For example, to celebrate the brand's 125th anniversary, retro-style bottles were introduced. Fun fact: the oldest known bottle of Dr. Pepper, dated to 1891, was discovered at an auction and sold for $7,000. Looks like I've just found a reason to clean out my garage, and maybe my dad's too. It was great to learn that Dr. Pepper is actively implementing environmental initiatives in its production processes. For example, the factory uses bottles made from recycled plastic. Modern plastic bottles weigh 25% less than they did 10 years ago, reducing plastic use by millions of tons. The company is also cutting carbon emissions during transportation. Additionally, the production process conserves water during equipment cleaning. Producing 1 quart of the beverage requires approximately 4 gallons of water, including the cleaning process. This is significantly less than some competitors, and serves as an example of efficient resource use. The company is committed to making its production as green as possible without compromising product quality. To achieve this, management invests in waste collection and recycling projects, particularly in countries with lower levels of environmental awareness. Despite its name, this drink was never created by medical professionals. The name was invented as a marketing ploy to highlight the medicinal benefits of carbonated beverages in the 19th century. Old labels featured clocks showing the times 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and 4 o'clock. This was a suggestion to drink the beverage 3 times a day to maintain energy. Let me get back to telling you about the diet version of the drink. In 1962, the world was introduced to Diet Dr. Pepper, the first low-calorie version of the original. Its taste turned out to be so similar to the classic that many fans still cannot tell the difference. Interestingly, producing the diet version requires a special approach, as I mentioned earlier. Instead of sugar, artificial sweeteners are used, which are added during the syrup mixing stage. One of the most popular options today is Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar, which contains absolutely no calories. Every year, the world produces over 420,000 tons of snails. That's more than the weight of 300,000 cars. Imagine these slow creatures being transformed into delicacies worth up to €50 per kilogram, or their slime being used in cosmetics priced at up to €300 a jar. Snail farming isn't just a business, it's a billion-dollar industry. Want to know all the secrets? Stick around till the end. Picture vast fields where thousands of tiny snails crawl slowly among the greenery. These are snail farms, and they're more than just a thing. They're a serious business. Europe leads the world in snail farming, with most farms located in France, Italy, Spain, and Poland. The main species grown here are the Helix aspersa, or small gray snail, and Helix pomatia, known as the Burgundy snail. The idea of farming snails has ancient roots, dating back to ancient Rome. Think about it. The Romans were both gourmets and innovators. They were the first to cultivate snails on a large scale for food. How did it work? Romans built special snail gardens where they kept snails, feeding them herbs, fruits, and even wine. Yes, you read that right. They literally soaked snails in wine to make them more tender and flavorful. The famous Roman naturalist Pliny the Elder, who lived in the 1st century AD, wrote about snails being a delicacy at noble banquets. He even mentioned a Roman gourmet, Quintus Fulvius Lupinus, who established the first known snail farm in the 1st century BC. After the fall of the Roman Empire, snail farming was somewhat forgotten. But during medieval times, monks revived it. For them, snails were a convenient food option during Lent, as they weren't officially considered meat. Clever monks, huh? By the 19th century, snail farms gained popularity in France and Italy, where modern farming methods were developed. The French were the first to turn snails into a gastronomic brand now known as escargot. In the 20th century, snail consumption increased so much that industrial-scale farms became necessary. Today, we have entire industries, from food to cosmetics, all thanks to this ancient Roman idea. Isn't that fascinating? Every year, over 420,000 tons of snails are farmed globally, with Europe dominating the market. France, for instance, consumes about 30,000 tons of snails annually, half of which are imported. Imagine the scale. Let's start with the snail nursery. Farms begin by collecting snail eggs, those tiny white pearl-like balls. The eggs are carefully selected because the farm's success depends on their quality. To encourage breeding, farms create specific conditions. The air temperature must be around 70 degrees Fahrenheit, with nearly 100% humidity. It's like a paradise for snails. Farmers even use special systems to keep the air moist, ensuring the snail's comfort. The eggs are then moved to incubators, where tiny snails hatch a few weeks later, barely recognizable as the future delicacies. Surprising, isn't it? My friend once had pet snails, and they bred like crazy in any conditions. But here, with all this care, there are no guarantees. Perfection is truly the enemy of good enough. Let's take a closer look at how snails grow. Once they hatch, the snails are moved to open enclosures, special fenced areas on the farm where they can crawl freely. They're fed a mix of grains and vegetables like cabbage, carrots, or even lettuce. Snail care is a science. Farmers regularly check their health, provide plenty of water, and even protect them from natural predators like birds or insects. Fun fact, a snail can drink more water than its body weight. In some countries, snail farms play relaxing music to reduce stress. Snails can take up to 6 months to grow large enough for harvest. Their size and weight depend on the species and farming conditions. Harvesting snails is an art. When snails reach the right size, they are collected, often by hand. Each snail is carefully inspected to ensure it's healthy and high quality. In snail farming, healthy and high quality involves several key factors: physical condition, suitability for consumption, or cosmetic use. A healthy snail actively moves, stretches its body, and responds quickly to stimuli like touch. Sluggish or closed snails might be stressed or sick. Their shells must be intact, free of cracks, spots, or chips. a sign of sufficient calcium in their diet. Healthy snails should also show no signs of parasites, fungal infections, or diseases that could affect their viability. On average, a snail weighs about 1 pound, though the ideal weight varies by species. This is the optimal size for culinary use. Before processing, snails are kept without food for 3 to 5 days to clear their digestive systems, ensuring the product is safe. A snail's diet impacts the quality of its meat, so their meals consist of greens, fruits, and special mixes. High-quality snails have tender, slightly sweet meat. They must be raised without harmful pesticides or fertilizers, as they are highly sensitive to contamination. For cosmetic purposes, snails need to produce a sufficient amount of slime, known as mucin, but more on that later. This requires proper nutrition and farming conditions. Healthy snail slime is transparent, impurity-free, and rich in beneficial components like allantoin, elastin, collagen, and vitamins. Quality snails live for 3 to 5 years, which is crucial for sustainable production. However, on farms, they're usually kept for about 14 months. Modern snail farming emphasizes eco-friendly practices, no soil or water contamination, and an organic approach to feeding. A healthy, high-quality snail grows in ideal conditions, eats a balanced diet, and shows no signs of stress or illness. It's perfect for gourmet dishes or premium cosmetics. Collected snails are washed and sent for further processing. If the farm caters to the restaurant market, the snails are immediately placed in special refrigerators, where they enter a state of dormancy, a natural process allowing them to sleep. Globally, over 420,000 tons of snails are farmed each year, with France, Italy, Spain, and Greece being major producers. Snails move at less than half a pound per second, so to cross a football field, they'd need about 5 hours. But they can endure a 2-hour walk in the rain without a break, the equivalent of a marathon for us. An average farm raises anywhere from 100,000 to 1 million snails. Now, the exciting part. How do these slow creatures become delicacies? First, they're prepped for consumption, washed, cleaned, and boiled. Then, they're marinated, baked, or stuffed with delicious sauces. Did you know French restaurants love serving snails in their shells with a garlic butter sauce? It's their signature move. If food is clear, how did snails end up in cosmetics? It's all about the slime. It contains beneficial substances like allantoin, collagen, and glycolic acid that work wonders on the skin. In ancient Rome, slaves rubbed snail slime on their mistress's skin, believing it healed wounds and rejuvenated. In the 1980s, Chilean farmers raising snails for export noticed their hands became unusually soft, free of cuts or scars. This sparked the idea of using mucin in cosmetics. On specialized farms, snails are kept in comfortable conditions where they produce slime. This slime is harvested without harming the animals and used in creams, masks, and serums. They say this ingredient works miracles, rejuvenating skin and addressing imperfections. The snail slime cosmetics industry is worth $760 million and grows 10% annually. The biggest buyer, South Korea. The slime collection process may seem odd, but it's designed to be cruelty-free. There are 2 methods: manual stimulation and automated systems. In manual stimulation, farmers gently massage the snail's body or spray it with clean water and sea salt. The snail secretes slime as a natural defense mechanism. The collected slime is washed and sent for filtration. For automated systems, large farms use special devices. Snails are placed in containers where they are gently stimulated with water or air streams. The slime flows into a reservoir for collection. Afterward, the snails are washed and returned to their enclosures. They can produce slime again after a few days, ensuring the process doesn't harm them. The The collected slime is purified, leaving only the valuable components. The resulting mucin is rich in collagen, elastin, glycoproteins, and other active ingredients. After processing, the slime becomes a raw material for cosmetics or pharmaceuticals. Snail slime is then used in high-end creams and serums that repair skin and treat acne. To produce 33 ounces of quality mucin, about 50,000 snails are needed. The snail market isn't just about food or cosmetics. In the European Union alone, it's a multi-billion euro business. 1 kilogram of snails can cost between 20 and 50 euros, depending on their origin and processing. Cosmetic products made from snail slime sell for 30 to 300 euros per jar. Have you ever wondered how many times aluminum can be recycled? Imagine this. 1 can you drank from today could be back on the shelf as a brand new can in just 60 days. And here's a jaw-dropper. Over 120,000 aluminum cans are used every minute worldwide. But wait, there's more. In the United States alone, enough cans are recycled each year to cover 3,000 football fields. Why is recycling aluminum so critical? How do these tiny metal heroes make such a massive impact on the planet? Let's dive into this video where every statistic amazes, and the transformation process will leave you inspired. The journey of recycling aluminum cans starts with collection, a crucial step in the recycling chain because timely gathering of raw materials ensures efficient processing later on. Most aluminum cans are collected through specialized waste collection systems in cities and communities. Many countries have waste sorting programs encouraging consumers to deposit empty cans in dedicated metal recycling bins. In the United States, there are widespread redemption centers where consumers can return used cans for a small cash reward or discount, incentivizing eco-friendly behavior. These programs are also common in parts of Europe and Australia. Some regions even organize campaigns where individuals can bring used cans to special recycling stations, making it easier to gather metal waste while reducing environmental pollution. Globally, about 120,000 aluminum cans are used every single minute, a staggering number that highlights the importance of efficient recycling. Many stores feature special bins for collecting empty aluminum cans, especially in areas with popular deposit systems where consumers can return packaging for a refund, often earning a few cents for each can. Beverage manufacturers and packaging companies also participate in the recycling process by sending metal waste from production to collection centers. This applies to used cans and leftover aluminum elements from the manufacturing process. Some recycling systems even include automatic waste sorting at the collection stage. Advanced technologies like magnetic separators are used to extract aluminum from other metals and plastics efficiently. In regions without such systems, manual sorting is still the norm. In the United States, the aluminum can recycling market is valued at over $1 billion annually. This massive industry injects revenue back into the economy, fueling businesses that recycle and produce new products from repurposed metal. Once collected and sorted, the cans are transported to a recycling facility, where they're stored in massive containers or warehouses until processing begins. The entire recycling journey of an aluminum can take less than 60 days, from the moment it arrives at the facility to the moment it's transformed into a brand new product. That means the can you finished today could be back on the shelf in just 2 months. To ensure a smooth process, cans must be kept separate from other waste materials, so they're often stored separately. Before moving on to further processing, the cans undergo a thorough cleaning. This includes washing off any leftover liquids, removing labels, adhesives, and other contaminants that might still be on the packaging. And now for the most epic part, shredding. Once cleaned, the cans are shredded into small pieces using industrial shredders or other mechanical equipment. This step drastically reduces the volume of the material, making it easier to process. What's left are aluminum shreds or chunks, ready to be transformed into new products. I've got to say, being there for this part was nerve-wracking. It felt like one of those shards might fly off and hit me in the eye. And the noise, the grinding and crunching were absolutely deafening. Hot. Insanely, blisteringly hot. That's how it felt when we approached the smelting furnace. The shredded aluminum pieces are sent straight into it. 1,220 degrees Fahrenheit, a temperature so intense, it's surprising it's not 1,222 for some devilish symmetry. Melting is the key stage where the metal is heated until it turns liquid. During this process, any remaining impurities and other materials are burned away, leaving behind pure aluminum ready for reuse. Watching it felt like witnessing the Terminator's final moments. I swear. The team explained to me that smelting is energy intensive, but even with the high energy consumption, this process is far more efficient and less costly than extracting virgin aluminum from ore. The molten aluminum from the furnace is poured into molds to create ingots, wire rods, or sheet metal. These aluminum ingots, known as slabs, are massive blocks that are easy to handle during later processing stages. Each slab measures several yards in length and about 2 feet thick. Once cooled and solidified, this metal is ready for a new life, whether as fresh aluminum cans, car parts, construction materials, or other products. Here's the incredible part. This process can be repeated endlessly. Aluminum can be recycled over and over without losing its quality. Imagine that. Cans can go through the recycling loop dozens, even hundreds of times. It doesn't wear out from remelting. Honestly, it feels like we were lied to. Terminator had to be made of aluminum, folks. Now, what are these wire rods, you ask? Fair question, and I've got the answer for you. Wire rods are a form of aluminum created after the molten metal is poured and shaped into thin wires or rods. After smelting, the liquid aluminum is cast into molds for further processing. The metal is rolled into large wire rods using specialized rolling mills. These mills reduce the cross-section of the metal and shape it into the desired form by passing it through rollers. The rods can then be cut into smaller sections or sent off for additional processing to create a variety of aluminum products. In the end, wire rods are the foundational form of aluminum used to manufacture new products. This keeps the recycling and reuse cycle going strong. The diameter of aluminum rods can vary depending on their intended purpose, typically ranging from 0.04 of an inch to 0.75 of an inch. However, this can change based on production specifications and the final application. Thin wire rods, with a diameter ranging from 0.04 to 1/10 of an inch, are commonly used to make wires, electrical cables, or delicate metal components. Medium wire rods, measuring 1/16 to 0.4 of an inch, are suitable for sturdier products like structural elements, or, in some cases, new aluminum cans, when further processing requires that specific diameter. Thick wire rods, over 0.4 of an inch in diameter, are reserved for heavy-duty applications such as the automotive industry or the production of large structural components. Each type of wire rod has its own specifications and undergoes additional processing depending on the final aluminum product being manufactured. To produce aluminum sheets, the slabs are gently heated and passed through powerful rolling mills that flatten them into thin sheets. At this stage, the sheets measure about 1/4 to 2/5 of an inch thick, but they're still too thick for most applications. After hot rolling, the sheets are cooled to stabilize their structure. If needed, they undergo annealing, a controlled process of heating and slow cooling to relieve internal stress and improve the metal's flexibility. For ultra-thin sheets, like foil or packaging materials, the aluminum goes through cold rolling, reducing its thickness to less than 0.04 of an inch. This precision ensures the sheets meet the requirements for various specialized applications. Once the aluminum is formed into the required shape, whether as wire rods or sheets, it's transported to factories or directly to customers for further use in manufacturing. Recycling aluminum requires significantly less energy compared to extracting new material from ore. In fact, recycling aluminum saves up to 95% of the energy that would otherwise be needed for mining and processing raw aluminum. To put it into perspective, it's like a 100-watt light bulb running for 4 hours. Here's another mind-blowing stat. If all the aluminum cans recycled in the United States each year were stacked end-to-end, they'd cover approximately 3,000 football fields. And if you combined the recycled cans from the US and Europe, they could wrap around the Earth twice.